Hey there, Wesley Asera here. So, culture. Wow. In terms of my childhood, I find that one of the biggest parts of my culture was my comics that I would draw. I used to draw comics very heavily in elementary school and early middle school. Kind of died off during middle school. Um, I would be so creative. Uh, I was always drawing on assignments. I needed somewhere else to really vent my creativity, which was overflowing. I had a very overactive imagination, which isn't necessarily a bad thing unless it gets in the way of productivity, I guess, or maybe emotions. Um, so I started drawing comics, and it became pretty popular within the among my classmates, which just supported me continuing building on my creativity, drawing more. The artifact I've chosen here today is one of the first long compendiums I drew in like a sketchbook. I used to just buy sketchbooks, or my parents would buy them for me, and I would just fill them with like a long running comic. And I was too young for the plot to be really like solid. Like it's really just random stuff happening, but uh, it meant a lot to me. And it's so old that the cover has been ripped off a very long time ago. So what does this mean for me culturally, and how can I translate this to a future classroom? Well, as a child, you have such a small window to look through the world in. You have school where you learn about the world, and you have your family, and they can really tell you anything. That everyone's family is different. Everyone learns different things from their families. Um, I didn't know too much about the world, and I had a very limited perspective. It's not that I wasn't given opportunities to learn. I don't know. I was always in my own head. My head was always in the clouds. So I made my own world. Um, and that just became so fun to me, maintaining that idea, like all these ideas that I had. Art is just visual art just became my uh, medium of uh, exalting my creativity. As for my own future classroom, um, obviously, visual art doesn't really apply to everyone. Like, not everyone's going to be adept at art or maybe storytelling, um, but just giving them means to create their own things, their own works of art in some way. If not visual art, maybe musically. Just promoting the ideas of creativity and the benefits they can bring. I mean, I know I was very much into my creations. I still am. I'm still an artist to some degree, and I still think of crazy scenarios. I still write in my head. My imagination is still very much wandering. Um, it's just art and expression of creativity has become a very large part of my life, and I don't want that. I want that to reflect in my future classroom, and I'd like it to be a part of my students' culture, at least in my class.